be fine. As I have started a session of discussing language from the linguistic point of view, so in this series of language understanding with logic will help us to find the little confusing subject of phonetics more easy, as this is a subfield of linguistics and it is quite lengthy. We will break it down in three parts because it has symbols which determines the sounds of a words, and that's why phonetics and linguistics are closely called a scientific study of a language. Let's start it. Whenever you get to understand a new subject or a branch of a subject, you begin with wondering, and your brain makes you to find the answers of the questions. And the process of finding answers makes you to find the content which can help you to remove your confusion about the subject. That's why I begin my explanation process with the basic question, which we often have during the understanding of a new topic. I will try to come up with the answers of the question, which will be the initial stage of understanding of a subject that's lay ahead. Now, this image illustrates the various outer and inner parts of the mouth that are crucial in producing sounds. Right now, we are talking about sounds, okay? It helps to understand how the movement of different mouth organs, such as the tongue, lips, and vocal cords, contribute to the creation of speech sounds. I have explained it in a very simple words because in the next series we are going to discuss the more complex sounds and in the more complex way. But as this is an introductory, you can say, video, so that's why I have tried my best to make it most simplest to make you understand the basics. Let's move to the more practical explanation of these sound study and phonetics. Now, there is another image which is used to explain the use of vowels. We are not concerned with the applications of vowels, focusing upon the fact that how these vowels are determined as a separate group and what function it performs in the study of sounds and have and how the same origin and have the same origin and same flow as vowels are open sounds as they involve no obstruction to the flow of air from the lungs. The IPA vowel, IPA, I will also mention this IPA in this introductory part because it is very important. The IPA vowel chart helps you understand how to pronounce words in a language. There is a specific determined IPA chart we find in linguistics subject, and this IPA chart helps you to understand the symbols and understands the sounds of those symbols, which when are included into a word, how what kind of sound they create. You can take the example of a chart which we use when we talk about the tenses. There are charts for the tenses: present tense, past present tense. There are charts, and according to these charts you understand the tenses perfectly. So the same way, there is a chart, IPA chart, in which all the symbols are mentioned, and along with the examples that how you are going to use these symbols and how they are going to be pronounced in a word. So that is why the study of the phonetics, the sounds of the sounds of you can say it is the study of the sounds. Phonetics is the basically study of the sounds which makes sense, which we call letters, and out of that letter we make a word, and after a word we make a sentence. So basically this is the very you can say initial part of understanding of any language structure. So hopefully, know terms and elements of a subject, we become more curious to know that how come these elements become the part of the subject, which help us to understand the core concept of the subject. Let's throw some light on the major terms we use in the connection with the topic. Base and the grounds of that topic, obviously, we need some definitions or we need some meaning for the explanation. Only then we will be able to understand the complex parts of that subject. So, when we talk about phonetics, obviously, phonetics is the branch of linguistics, and linguistic is so. Here you can see IPA. IPA is an abbreviation which stands for International Phonetic Alphabet. Now we are talking about phonetic. By phonetic we mean sounds, and alphabets are, you can say, they are the producers of the sounds, which is a system of symbols. Now when we say a system of symbols, as I have already mentioned, alphabets. So why it is written that symbols? So basically, that is why that linguistic is called the scientific study, because here for the pronunciation or for the understanding of these organs create the sounds, they call it symbols. And these symbols are, I mean, if someone understands these symbols properly, so the pronunciation or the understanding of a pronunciation becomes very easy for them, because now people are in this habit to check the you can say the sound or the pronunciation of a word, because it has voice as well, so we easily captures the pronunciation. We say, okay, this is the correct pronunciation of this word. But sometimes it happens that we don't have this cell phone or these gadgets or laptop or iPad, like this, all these electronics. So we rely totally on that old way of understanding the pronunciation, which we find through going through a dictionary, proper dictionary. In that dictionary we do not have that sound, I mean, because it is a book, so it's a book, obviously doesn't create the sound. So we then become confused that how we are going to pronounce it. Then when you know these symbols, then it performs the same function as we click the pronunciation of a word, and that that voice tells us the pronunciation. So it performs the same function that represent the sounds of human speech, symbols that represent the sounds of human speech. Now you have understood this thing, so we will come across stress, and there are stress and unstressed symbols or alphabets. And what do we mean by that? That why we say stress is the emphasis placed on certain syllables in a word. So what do we mean by it, stress? So when we talk about that organs, when they are combined, or they they are combined and they are creating some sound. So sometimes these organs, when they are combined together, sometimes the structure of our inner mouth is formed in this way that some sounds becomes very stressed and some sounds are less stressed. It is, you can say, an innate, you can say that the structure of the mouth which help to improve the sound. While unstressed syllables are pronounced with less emphasis. Pepper, pepper. Now see, I am putting some stress on this pepper. Or if I say coil, do you feel any stress on it? It is totally unstressed word, coil. And pepper. So, and sometimes this stress syllables are those you can say sounds which are the result of combining our lips together. Pepper. Look, we two times we combined our lips, and that pepper, these create a stressed sound, longer and higher in pitch than unstressed syllables. Now, you must have come across, because before this, you can say AIs, so many things were very difficult to comprehend. But with the help of this AI, we can understand many things. There are a lot of apps about this voice app, and in this voice app, when you go to setting, you find that there is written that slow and fast voice, or slow and fast pitch. So when the pitch should be according to the sound. If pitch is higher and it is stressed word, then it will be it will become, you can say, totally a different sound, because these are the determined sounds. These are the determined sounds. They are once determined that, okay, if the organs, if the lips touch each other, so it will create a stress sound. And like we say, blow, blow. Now look, we are putting some stress and low, blow. So that is why I say that this pitch is very important in understanding this phonetics, because pitch makes the difference between stressed and unstressed syllables. So I think that for today that's enough. And in the second video, I hope in few days I will try to come up with this second part of this video, because it is very important. And that video will be we will be discussing more complex things in it, and more important elements in it, so you comprehend it. And at the end, I hope that you will be able to grasp the concept of the phonetics, and you will grasp the importance of the phonetics, that how much phonetic is important to understand the pronunciation. We most of the time that non-native English speakers, they find the pronunciation very difficult. It is only because they do not have knowledge about phonetics. If they once understand this, you can say, the